This is a podcast for proven lead generation technology and marketing solutions. This is Taking Back Your Leads.
Are we going to start freestyling?
We're going to freestyle. My name's Robbie Gallo. I'm social media marketing manager, manifesto, here at the old leadPops headquarters in the Popcast room. I'm not even sure if we're going to call it that yet, but for now we're going with it. And with me I have Andrew Pawlak, CEO, co-founder of leadPops. Introduce yourself.
What's up, Robbie?
Hey,
Do I need to? You just introduced me.
I did.
I don't need to.
Did I kill it?
It was better than I would have ever imagined.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Hey, Andrew and I go back a little bit too. We kind of had a little music connection in our previous lives. So have some good mutual friends. And now we're talking some cool, awesome mortgage. I have some questions I put together for you. So I'm just going to start shooting from the hip.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So leadPops. One of the things I hear you say, which I really like, is a lot of it's about buttons and links. When you click on one of our buttons or our links, where does it potentially take one of our clients?
All right. So here's how I like to break it down.
Okay.
A lot of people, I think, overthink it. They get into almost shutdown mode when they start hearing internet marketing and digital ads and traffic and search engines and all that kind of stuff. So I want to simplify it. It's really understanding that traffic is part of it, sure, and that's its own conversation. But what happens after they click? Like, what happens? Where do you take them once you get that visitor to your website? Right. Or if they open up an email, or they saw your social media post, or they read your blog post, they watched a video. What happens after that is where a lot of people are dropping the ball. They don't understand that, okay, what I do next matters a whole lot, and there's not a lot of thought that goes into that post-click event. So if I hit your website, where are you going to take me next? Like, what happens if I click on that button or that link? And that's really all it is strategically placing buttons and links into your content that are going to take people to that next step. And that next step is typically an engagement tool, meaning something that's going to get that consumer to interact and give you some information about who they are and what they're looking for. And it can't just be a loan application.
Right.
It can't just be a contact form.
Yeah.
It can't just be, give me your name, email, phone number, tell me where you live. Answer a whole bunch of questions and give me information that you're not comfortable with. Because if you ask the wrong questions too soon in the process, you're going to scare people off. If you call the button a loan application and it says apply now, I've never spoken with you before. I just saw you on social media, or even if I've seen you a few times now, so there's a little bit of trust.
Right. That's
still not a slam dunk. I'm still not just going to apply for a mortgage. That's a pretty big ask. So what we're trying to do is make it a little bit easier for people. Remove the friction. Understand that a loan application is not the first step in the process. The first step is typically a conversation, them getting to know you, you building rapport, all these wonderful things that happen at an early stage of the relationship that then you can send them back to your website to do the loan application. But that's usually like a step 2.
Gotcha.
So the buttons and links, you can put them anywhere. That's the easy part. It's literally a copy and a paste. Buttons and links can be added to websites, blog posts. You can put a link beneath a video and say, hey, click the link below, find out if you're qualified, find out how much home you could afford. Simple things like that go a long way. And then understanding, well, where do I take them? You're taking them to a survey. You're taking them to an engagement form. The same way LendingTree does it, same way Quicken Loans is doing it, same way all these big companies, Zillow with their long form, Realtor.com, they've all figured out that there's a way to ask for information that doesn't scare people off. And they put that all over everything. So if you look at a page on Zillow, like in their blog content, on one of their listings, on anything on one of these big sites, you're typically going to find they're layered with buttons and links that are pulling you back into what's called their long form. So they're just pulling you into a questionnaire strategically, and they're loading that questionnaire up on all of their content. So
is this taking them away from the site, or is it?
It's an extension of their website, but it's taking you off of the page that in a way, it's the content piece, it's the calculator, it's the blog post, it's the article that got me interested, that educated me a little bit. And the next step is, hey, are you interested in finding out if you're eligible? Or do you want to see how much home you can afford? Or do you want to calculate your savings? Click here to find out how much lower your mortgage payment could be. And then they pull me into a series of questions that are applicable to that scenario. Like, okay, so what's your current mortgage payment? Okay, what kind of house is it? Yeah. They'll ask about, typically there's a kind of a sweet spot between 12 and 20 questions. So there's actually a lot of questions, but the way they ask those questions make all the difference. It's not one long form with 25 fill in the blanks. There's a strategy in terms of how they present those questions. The format of those questions, the way they do it is all kind of specialized to make sure that people are kind of gamified, meaning it's kind of fun, right? So as I'm answering questions, there's a little bit of a feedback loop. There's some interaction. The next question kind of zips onto the page. The next one just drops out. There's a level of interaction that's happening that kind of keeps me pulled into the process. And at the end is where they're asking for contact information. That's once you've earned it, once I've spent maybe a minute or two answering the easy questions, then at the end of the process, you can ask for contact information. It's just the tried and true formula.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of psychology built into it that kind of leads people to complete the process, which is critical, right? We want to get people to start answering these questions, and at the end of that funnel, we're looking to get their name, email, phone number, and that's the magic information we want. But we got to ask for that in a real strategic kind of way. We can't just open up the page and say, okay, give me your contact info. Right. Too many people are doing it that way and not understanding, why is my conversion rate so low? Why is it that I drive 1,000 people to my page or my site and I get nothing out of it? I get 2 or 3 leads and they're junk. These big companies have done a lot of testing. They figured this stuff out. Zillow was one of our first big clients that we helped build their mortgage marketplace. So we had a lot of testing in that experience working with Zillow. The other big one was Bankrate. They spent about $250,000 with us to build out the lead funnels and landing pages for all of their biggest advertisers. So there's a lot of testing that happened over those multiple years of working with some of these big companies. We packaged it up, turned it into a system for loan officers, real estate agents, insurance agents to basically use that same tech, that same strategy these big billion-dollar companies are using. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel.
So you mentioned that sometimes could be maybe 5 questions to 20 questions or maybe even more. Does it depend on how you answer the question that would lead you on to the next? Or is it always in a certain row?
No, there's conditional logic depending on how they answer one question, what's that next question. Right. That's not always the case. It just depends on any given funnel and what's the purpose of it, how is it being used. Cool. So if I don't quite know certain things about the user, like for example, if it's a purchase or a refinance, a very broad question it's gonna dictate what the next set of questions are. So if I say it's a purchase, there's a whole lot of questions I'm not going to be asking that are refinance specific that I'm just going to drop altogether. Now I'm going to ask you all purchase related or all refinance related questions.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If I drive you to the page and I know immediately right off the bat you're looking to buy a house, the whole offer, the ad, the email blast, the blog post, whatever the offer that got you to click in the first place was all talking about purchase, I would prefer to land you on a page, a landing page, a lead funnel that's dedicated to purchase. I'm not even going to ask, well, are you looking to refinance or buy? I already know. So I want to take you to a page that's more specific to buying a home. So if I can take them to a page that's more cohesive with the ad in the first place, and I can talk about buying a house and finding out how much you can afford and getting pre-approved and some of that stuff, and drop all the other fluff that's kind of taking up space that's not relevant to you, I would rather do that. So the more aligned the landing pages or the lead funnel and the messaging is with the offer that got them to click in the first place, the better your conversion rates are going to be. So anytime we know why they're there, because that's why they clicked, that's a preferred route to go than always taking them to some general mortgage landing page and they're always just asking purchase or refi. It's just better to be specific.
Yeah, that's cool. Engagement. It kind of reminds me of is like choose your own adventure.
Yeah, absolutely.
On to the next. And you know where you're gonna
go. Yep. And that's another part of it is it's just making the questions relevant to the user, making the messaging relevant to the user. So as they go, they keep picking up these rocks. They're finding something that's applicable to them under each one as they keep moving through the process. The more it disconnects and they start to feel like, wait, why are you asking that? Like that's not even like what I'm looking for. You start to see a drop off, right? Yeah. So keeping it relevant all throughout the process is definitely critical.
Nice. So another question I had here was, how long does it take for a typical Facebook ad to close?
Okay, so this is all over the place in terms of making sure to set the right expectations because refinance is going to be different than purchase, right? So those are always going to be 2 different buckets. Refinance is always much quicker. Rates right now are at historic lows. So right now those are moving a lot faster. Purchase is still somewhere our clients are typically wanting to maintain efforts. So even though refinance is really hot, the smartest marketers out there are not just dropping their purchase business altogether.
Right.
Purchase and purchase is consistent. It's always going to be there, even if rates go up and down and all around. It does not, have the impact, obviously, that it does on refinance business. Like when rates are this low, everybody is looking to refinance. When rates go back up into the 4s, 5s, even, a lot less people are going to be refinancing at that point, but you're still going to have people buying houses. Mm-hmm. So some of the people that just jump into all refi right now are going to be hurting. Who knows when? Maybe it's in a couple of months, maybe it's in a year or two. But if you are losing focus on purchase entirely and you're neglecting your realtor relationships, you're not talking to your agents because you're so busy, it's going to come back to bite you at some point. Okay. So what we like to do is help our clients bring in the refi as much as they can, but still work their realtor partnerships, still stay engaged with their agents, still work that purchase business, because it does take a lot longer. That's the big difference. It's like someone's looking to buy a house, they might be a year out. I just started looking for a home. I might, I'll be moving next year. I'm changing jobs. So we started just looking right now online. Mm-hmm. If you pull that buyer in at an early stage in their decision-making process, there's going to be some nurturing and some effort involved. You're going to be checking in with them. If they're not looking to buy a house for another 12 months, you got your hands on them early. That's great. You have that relationship at an early stage, but it's going to take a little bit longer to close. Right. That's not everybody, but I would say on the shorter end of it, 90 days, realistically 6 months to close a Facebook lead that's purchase based.
Gotcha.
Early stage in their decision-making process, typically very top of funnel, meaning they're not a month out from buying a house. Usually you can get some of those, but if we're talking like what can you expect realistically, consistently coming from something like Facebook ads, it's going to be more top of funnel people. If you swing 100 times, you might get 1 or 2 of those people that's closer to the transaction, but a lot of times it's top of funnel. I just started looking online. The beauty of it is they haven't spoken with somebody yet. Right. You are typically the first person they've talked to. Yep. They haven't established a relationship with a real estate agent yet, which is wonderful, because now you've got somebody who has not even selected an agent, which is great, because now that becomes a referral opportunity for the mortgage professional, right? So now I have a lead that I can introduce to one of my real estate agents. So that's the game a lot of our most savvy clients are playing. They're doing the Facebook ads, they're getting loans out of it. It's a process. It's 90 days to maybe 180 days, some cases longer. 3 to 6 months, no big deal. You're just building for the future. You know what I mean? So that's fantastic. Yeah. And now all of a sudden you have leads that you can introduce to your real estate agents consistently, which becomes its own new opportunity of business for you. So one of the big areas our clients are always looking to improve is realtor relationships. Yeah. Right? I want to be able to establish better loyalty from my existing agents is an area that many clients are trying to work on. It's, hey, I've got realtors, but I'm always kind of concerned about the next loan officer coming along and all of a sudden that realtor's not answering my call, or got a couple good ones that I know are pretty on board with me, but I need more agents. That becomes an opportunity to not just solidify existing agent relationships, but go out and build new ones and have something exciting to talk to them about. We've got a client who's been on a podcast with me recently, Scott Shang, great example of it, running Facebook ads, did some analysis of the leads he generated over 90 days, 350 leads or so over 90 days he generated. I think it was something like $2,000 ad spend. So super low ad spend, which is the beauty of Facebook. You can not spend a lot of money and get a whole lot out of it. And he said the number one thing he got from it was, out of those 350 leads, 93% of them answered the question, are you working with a real estate agent? Which is right on our lead funnel. Said no. Wow. They said no to that. So 300 times plus from those 350 leads, he had an opportunity to take that lead, make an introduction to his real estate agents. And he said, that's the number one thing I'm getting out of it. He's like, they're going to close. I'm going to get a number of these leads out of that 350 that are going to close. They're going to be a done deal in the next couple of months. These are people that are out, they're looking at houses, they're talking to my agents. Number one thing I'm getting out of it's not just the loans I will close, but the relationships and the impact it's having on the relationships I have with my real estate agents, that they get to check their text message and see, oh, here's another text from Scott with, oh, sweet. Says, check your inbox. I just talked to this lady, Vicky. She's looking to buy in the next couple of months. She needs an agent.
Yeah.
What's
That's
that?
awesome. Often
Right?
the role is reversed, right? I mean, the loan officer is asking the realtor for something.
That's what is what the name of the game is in most cases. The savvier loan officers are always looking for, hey, how can I do one better?
Yeah.
Than just say I'm going to do a great job on a loan and send me a client, right? But what our savvy clients are doing is not just a great job on the loan, but they're doing ads, they're doing consumer direct marketing, right? They're getting to the consumer before the realtor does, and they're using that as an opportunity to build better relationships with their realtors so that referrals go both ways. That's such a critical thing, is that referrals should not be a one-way street.
Sure.
Realtors are sick and tired of it a lot of times. That's why there is a loyalty issue, I guess you could say, if you want to call it that. It's that, why should an agent be loyal if they're sending a whole lot of business to a loan officer and that loan officer never reciprocates? It's like, hey, I do a good job on the loan, I'm a nice guy, but have I sent you anything in the last couple of years? Usually not. So if I can come in and talk to that realtor and I can show them that, hey, I'll do a good job on the loan, plus I've got this, and this that I'm doing to help actually refer leads back out to my realtors, that's a very powerful and compelling way to spark up a conversation with an agent. And you can bet that if a well-trained leadPops loan officer approaches a realtor who's a producer with that kind of scripting and that kind of approach, it'll be difficult for the realtor just to ignore it. They ignore a lot of those typical, hey, I'm an LO, I'd love to talk to you, let's go out and let's have lunch, blah, blah, blah. That kind of stuff is boring, and it's very easy for the realtors to ignore and not get excited about. But if I approach you in my script or my pitch is that, hey, I think it's crazy that we're approaching 2021 and you've still got loan officers expecting referrals from their realtors and they never reciprocate. We do things entirely differently. We're doing a lot of consumer direct marketing. We're referring leads back out to our realtors consistently. Our realtors are selling more houses. They're getting more listings because of the marketing that we're doing. I'd love to sit down and have a conversation with you about how we might be able to help you out and work together. A very different kind of approach, different kind of conversation. Very, very easy to kind of get that realtor thinking in their head, that's interesting. My LO is definitely not doing anything like that for me. He's a nice guy. I love her. She's great, but has she ever sent me a deal? And money talks is what it comes down to. And it's what have you done for me lately is typically what realtors are thinking. Yeah. So, sure. We teach our clients this approach. We have the scripting. We have the whole pitch down pretty well. And so the beauty of doing these Facebook ads and doing some of this marketing, not only does it feed leads to you directly, but it then becomes a talking point and a strategy that you can use to build better realtor relationships. And that's the goose that just keeps on laying eggs for you if you approach and are working with the right agents. And the other part of it is you get to pick which realtors you like to work with. You're not like stuck with an agent that you're like, I need the business. She's a pain in the butt, but at least she's referring me something. You get to kind of decide like, hey, you know what, that's not worth it to me. Like, calling me at 10 o'clock at night, complaining every time one of her deals she sends me, which sometimes they're pretty bad people that she's referring to me that I have to chase around and follow. That these are real things that are happening, that a lot of LOs are like, hey, if I could pick my favorite like 3 or 4 realtors and just do them and focus on them, that's exciting. I don't want to be chasing around new realtors. A lot of them can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to work with. I want to focus on the ones I know are great and not have to constantly be looking at new realtors and kind of dealing with whatever the heck they send my direction and feeling like I have to deal with it because the money's there and I need to close a deal, So kind of empowers you to choose who you want to work with, which is great as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I brought up the Facebook ads thing because I often hear it and it seems like a lot of our clients want to focus on that. But in your opinion, is there a better place to start? Should they just be doing Facebook ads? No,
I wouldn't say they shouldn't just be doing Facebook ads. No one should have all their eggs in one basket at any point in time. But it is one way to start immediately getting leads in your pipeline and start having conversations with people. It's still the lowest cost platform, I would say, that gives you an opportunity to get in front of, many people in your market. I'm not going to give exact numbers. I don't know what numbers are in any given market.
Right.
But there's a lot of people in your local area that are in the demographics you're looking to target that could be buying a house. They're on Facebook still. It's definitely not as popular as it used to be, but there's still a whole lot of people that you want to do business with that are on that platform. It gives you a low cost way to get in front of people, and it produces like the amount of leads clients are getting on a daily basis as a result, and the loans that they're closing just tell us that, hey, this is still a very viable option, but don't make it the only thing you're doing. You still want to be creating content. You still want to be doing marketing to your database. You still want to be doing, just the basic email marketing type stuff. Posting to social media is different than running Facebook ads. Videos, if you can create videos, adding content to your blog. I mean, the more of that kind of stuff you're creating and working on all of that kind of together, it propels you. The more content you can create, the more you put yourself out there, the more you're posting, the more people see you, the more leads you're going to generate. All of it should be tied back into having a website that's optimized for lead generation. That's another critical part of it. You're doing all this to promote your business. You're running Facebook ads, talking to realtors, doing lunch and learns, email marketing your database, but then you don't have a website, or your website is literally just a brochure and it's not set up the same way LendingTree has it. You're missing opportunities, and all these other things that you're doing are going to suffer as a result. Okay, a picture I paint for clients oftentimes to just help them kind of piece these things together and understand how they work synergistically is, you're running Facebook ads. Let's just say you've got a 15% conversion rate on your landing page. Someone clicks off of Facebook, you pull them to your landing page, you pull them to your lead funnel. Right. 15% conversion rate's pretty good. We're seeing this all day long on our stuff. That's great. On the flip side, that's still 85% of those people clicked and they dropped off, right? So that's what's happening oftentimes is people will click, they'll see you. They might have answered a couple questions maybe or didn't answer anything. They just saw it. They're like, I'm going to go check this person out. I'm going to look up who's Robbie Gallo Mortgage. Now I'm going to Google you and look you up on my phone because I don't really feel comfortable yet. I don't know you. I saw you. Ad looked interesting. Might be interested in buying a house in the next couple of months. Your copy caught my attention. Looked like something that might be of interest to me. I clicked. I don't know you still. I want to look you up and see if you're legit. What are your reviews? That always plays a role in this stuff. What are the reviews telling me? And if I can click and then I see you come up and that website pops up and that website is built for marketing and lead generation, you get that second opportunity to get the most out of that Facebook ad. Someone dropped out, didn't convert, found you online again, looked you up. Now we pull them back into your site. Your site is built for lead generation. It's not just a loan application and a bunch of stuff to read. Your website just strengthened the effectiveness of the Facebook ad. Right. Without that,
just another tool.
Right? It's another tool to bring these people back in, right? So without that, they click, they drop out, they come to your site, they read some stuff. They're not going to do a loan application. They drop out again. Then they're on Google. LendingTree pulls them in, Zillow pulls them in. Right. One of your competitors who's doing lead capture and lead generation the right way ends up getting that deal. And it's because of a Facebook ad you were running.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Good way to put it. So if you are a brand new client with us, a good place to start would be maybe getting a website with us. Or what would be a good process?
I would say we do what we call our digital marketing assessment, just to assess what does any given client look like. It's not always the same cookie cutter approach. It really is unique to each person who comes to us to just evaluate where are you at currently. Are you new to the business, or have you been doing this for 15 years? Are you big on realtors and you love them and you want more of them, or do you really not like realtors and you'd prefer never to talk to them again, and you would rather do consumer direct and not even go that route? So we have to kind of assess what your situation is first. Websites usually, though, 90% of the time a conversation we should be having, unless your company is not allowing you to have your own website. That would be one area that might be more difficult to overcome, though. We have gotten some big partnerships and enterprise clients as a result of them not allowing website companies in their stack. But we've actually created some really strong partnerships with a couple of big players in the mortgage industry. That happened as a result of them not offering websites to their LOs, not allowing it, and then their LO brought leadPops to the table, and we did a discovery call with them, and we are now an authorized and approved website company for a couple of these bigger partners. So that happens. In other situations, I guess, where a website might not be applicable is if someone already spent maybe 10 or 20 grand on a website, they just can't let it go. Gotcha. That's still, to me, I get why you don't want to just take that one down
because of the investment. Sure.
You spend a bunch of money, but here's what you want to do: put that one on a secondary domain name. Get the .net version of your domain name or something that you have sitting in your GoDaddy. Put that other site on that. Put the leadPops website on the primary domain name. That is your marketing domain name. That's the one people are going to. That's the one that's going to make or break whether or not you're closing loans as a result of your website. So if you have that website parked or that domain name parked on a website that's not built for marketing and lead conversion, it's going to cost you a lot of money. It's a really, really expensive mistake to make. miss out on 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 loans because you've got the wrong website on that domain name, it costs a lot of money, way more money than you've invested in that other expensive website. Okay, so in that situation, it's move that domain, or that site to a secondary domain, put the leadPop site on the primary. It's going to have an impact the day you go live in some cases if you've already got traffic. Right. If you've already got traffic, you're going to see results immediately from going live on one of our sites. If there's no traffic, then we got to talk about, okay, cool, we've built the foundation, we've got a site built for marketing. Now let's look at other ways we can drive traffic. There's a lot of different ways we can do it, from marketing to your database, even an announcement, just saying, hey, brand new website's live, come check it out. Here's all the cool stuff it does. Here's a link to my site. Email blasting that to your database. Some people have a couple hundred or a couple thousand people in their database. So that one email blast could trigger, a handful or a dozen leads. I've seen it happen time and time again. One of our big partners did a pilot with us, Movement Mortgage, when we first launched that partnership. Right. One of the things we recommended we put together with them was a template to announce the email, through email, the new website launches. A bunch of these LOs just that went live during that pilot immediately, day one going live. Some of them got like 4 leads, 6 leads. One of them got 14 leads over the weekend. One email blast to our database just saying, hey, check this out. Here's all the cool stuff it does. And all of a sudden people start hitting that site. And, it's just an opportunity to let people know. Because if you launch a site and you don't tell anybody, who's going to know about it, right? So putting that site on the domain name, first step, announcing it, social media, a blog post, a video, inviting people to come check it out, come comment, let me know what you think. If there's anything else you'd want to see, another email going out to your realtors or texting your real estate agent saying, hey, check this out. Here's what it does. It makes it a lot easier for you to refer people over that I'll be able to connect with a lot quicker. In the past, it was just a loan application. Yeah. Here's what else it's doing that's going to make it a lot easier for the people that are finding me or talking to you to convert into a client. And these are other opportunities that these websites create, is more of the referrals you get. And this is an example I think you had for me here. One of our loan officers, her name's Kelly. Yeah. She had referred or let her realtors know, I should say, about her website. Right. Her referrals that are already coming through the realtors, she started seeing an impact immediately on the amount of referrals that she was converting into leads because of the website going live. She had said, hey, this is something I'd never thought of. This was it was a surprise to me. I took this site live. I expected, because of the way the lead capture and the lead gen's on here, I was going to get more conversions. That made sense to me. But I thought it was going to just be like people finding me online, random, people that discover me through my social media and my content and things like that. She's like, the impact it's having immediately that I found is that it's doing something else on top of that. My realtor referrals are coming in, and I'm able to connect with the people that are finding me a lot quicker than I was in the past. I'm actually beating other loan officers to these conversations with these referrals because my website is now set up in such a way where I'm not just driving people to a loan app, and those people aren't oftentimes even ready for it. Even if a realtor made a recommendation, that's not a slam dunk. That person finds me, they see my site, they Googled me first, which is why they ended up on my site in the first place. They got a couple business cards from loan officers. Here's one with X mortgage company. Here's one with another. Here's me.
Yeah, because you can't just refer one, right? You got to give.
Yeah, a lot of times realtors will say, hey, here's a couple people to talk to. Gotcha. I like these people. Do your own research, but here's a couple I've worked with that can get the deal done, that are awesome to work with. Mm-hmm. Those people will still do their own due diligence. They'll check you out. They'll research you. So what Kelly was finding is these people are looking me up. They'll end up on my site. In the past, it was more of a, hey, see if, I guess I'll find out that they were looking me up when they call me. These days, my website kind of sucks them in because it's really good at this capture process. So they find me, they click on my site. All of a sudden, they fill out one of these lead forms, and I'm on the phone with them, and I discover that, hey, this person actually is not just some random off the internet. This is a referral from one of my top agents that found me. And in the past, I wouldn't have even known about it because they didn't fill out a loan app. I only knew when they called me and said, hey, by the way, this is who I am. I'm seeing that these referrals I'm getting just in the first 60 days of launching, multiple people that have come through this website are people that are referred by my realtors, and they filled out one of these lead forms. I call them, I get them on the phone. I discover it's a referral from one of my agents, and I start talking to them before they even have a chance to go off and do more research and talk to somebody else. So I'm the first one to be able to build that relationship, which means typically you're the one that gets the deal. That's the way the sales process works, right? If you're the first one on the phone, you do a pretty good job there. The person trusts you, they like you. A lot of times you're the one that's going to get the deal. So this just gives our clients that opportunity to get more of their referrals to convert not just like randoms online, which is these are pieces of the puzzle a lot of people don't put together. It's like, wow, so having a marketing and lead generation website is actually having an impact on my realtor referrals. I'm closing more referrals. I'm getting more referrals on the phone. I'm talking to more people that are coming from my real estate agents because of this website. I would have never thought about that.
So can these same processes be applied directly to realtors too? Can they use this as a resource?
Absolutely. I mean, we have our own set of tools that are realtor specific. Yeah. Same exact concept, same approach. But our bread and butter so far has been primarily working with mortgage and teaching our mortgage partners how to build better realtor relationships. But as a result of this exposure and working with realtors and directly and indirectly, we're seeing what these tools do with real estate agents as well. And the beauty of it with realtors, though, is they get a lot more traffic than mortgage people do.
Because people are looking for a house first, right?
Exactly, right? So they go online, they start looking for homes for sale at like 10 to 20 times the search volume. So if I look up something like San Diego mortgage, you look at a keyword analysis on something like that gets typed in maybe 150 times a month.
Right.
Something like San Diego homes for sale gets typed in 14,000 times per month. So it's not even in the same ballpark. So that just gives you an idea of like what are consumers doing online? What are they interested in, right? It's still backwards. They should be looking up the mortgage stuff at the same rate at least to make sure they can afford the houses they're looking at, but that's not fun.
That's not how it works.
So they start looking at houses. Realtors end up having the conversation first, and then the realtor kind of controls the lead and the deal. So what we like to do with our mortgage clients is, hey, partner up with the realtors. If they're getting all the traffic, find the good ones that are doing marketing, find the ones that are doing Google ads that are actually marketing themselves. Plug your technology, plug those lead funnels and these initiatives into their marketing, into their blog posts, into their content, into their website, and you both reap the rewards of that.
Right.
So there's really a strategy there that we like to offer our clients. So we're not really approaching the realtors directly as much as we work with realtors through our mortgage clients to help our mortgage clients and empower them with these tools. So we actually prefer to work with realtors through mortgage than just directly with realtors. And in fact, our clients on the real estate side, they get special pricing on our stuff if they come to us and work with us through one of our mortgage clients that they won't get if they just come to leadPops directly. So we like to kind of play matchmaker a little bit and connect our mortgage clients to good realtors and let them work together on the same stuff.
Sure, yeah, building relationships. So we have leadpops.com and then we have the mortgage side, but what are the other websites that we have?
Yeah, and we made it easy. So if you go to leadpops.com, one of the main things you're going to see is we're going to ask you, hey, select a business or an industry. Gotcha. So if you say mortgage, we're going to take you to mortgage. If you say real estate or insurance, we're going to take you to a specific dedicated website for that topic because we want to, obviously focus our conversation and our tools and our features and benefits to that audience specifically versus just one leadPops website. And we're trying to talk to everybody because there's some special things we're doing for mortgage versus real estate. And there's just certain things that we want to make sure that we address in a separate kind of way. So yeah, go to leadPops and then select your industry and then you'll find everything you need to know about those different industries.
All right, well, I'm going to jump around here. I heard you talk a lot about time to first value. Could you elaborate on that, how it's applicable?
Yeah, so to us, that's a metric we look at. It's an acronym we think about and we always assess in terms of our value to our clients. So time to first value means basically the amount of time it takes for leadPops to create value for a leadPops customer.
Okay.
So you sign up for a free trial or you launch a marketing campaign. What is considered a success to you as a client? Is it getting that first lead? Is it getting a phone call? Is it having a conversation with a real estate agent that you had, previously not had success with, but you used our approach and all of a sudden that realtor is down and excited to meet with you for coffee later this week. And you're like, holy smokes, I cannot even believe this realtor that's been ghosting me for the last 6 months was super excited to sit down and meet with me using the scripting and the strategy you guys taught me. These are all value components to working with leadPops that we think about. And we do our training and our calls and our marketing success advisors are on the phone teaching our clients and trying to assess like what matters to you. What would make this a successful first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? Well, if you look back over the last year at your relationship with leadPops, since leadPops got introduced into this equation, like what would you say is a success? Is it closing one loan? Is it closing 20 loans? And then we can kind of work our way backwards and see if the expectations are aligned and if that's realistic. And like, let's see how we can get you from point A to point B and create a roadmap and a plan to get there. So we're not just, hey, you signed up, here's the tools, good luck. You know, you can log into our knowledge base and get some training. It's more than that, but we do have a specialized set of training that we do make available to help our clients get that first value as quickly as possible.
Wow. And so when we have clients that have been with us for 60, 90 days, a year, what are some other tools that we offer that they can go back and see, like our metrics? We have a dashboard. How does that all?
Absolutely. So our metrics are focused on leads, number of leads, conversion rates. We don't get the data on loans closed coming back from clients. We have to kind of rely on them to help us understand what impact that had. Which to me is a little bit unfortunate because we don't get, it's not that we need the pat on the back, but that's what matters the most to us. Sure. Is are you closing loans? Are you selling houses? Are you selling more of what you're selling as a result of leadPops? Are you making money off of it? Like, leads are great. That's cool. That's exciting. But it doesn't matter if you got 25 leads or 1,000 leads if you didn't close anything. So right. Our ability to get that insight really does still rely on our clients. We're looking at different ways we might be able to sync up with CRMs or loan origination systems to get a kind of a feedback loop coming to us to let us know when a lead we sent over closes. Because that's the unfortunate part, is we do have to kind of extract it from our clients and kind of pick and like, hey, by the way, so you got 500 leads. Did you close anything? And they're like, yeah, I closed 12 deals. Right. Or 20 deals or 2. We don't know unless we assess it. But it also, we care about that for sure. We do assess by, how, retention rate on any given service, like how many people are signing up and like sticking around for 90 days, a year, that matters. We look at these metrics internally. That helps us assess. In conversations we have, we like to ask and try to figure out, hey, is this working? How is this doing? If you got one deal closed out of 100 leads, is it a lead issue? Because that's a 1% conversion rate. That's not great at all. Mm-hmm. So why is it not higher? Is it, hey, this is the best you could possibly do with that 100 leads? Or was it, I got the 100 leads. I can't give you any kind of consistent timeline as to when I call people back, or, I call them when I can. Sometimes it's, 20 minutes. Sometimes it's a couple hours. Sometimes it's next day. That's all like, cool. You closed the deal. Red flag kind of a little bit though, because there's opportunities getting lost. Like you're not following up quick enough. Speed to lead matters a whole lot. We got to cut that.
I like that.
Speed to lead. Yeah. It's one of those things that matters a lot. Yeah. Like if you wait too long, you call them back even in 20 minutes. Like, huh? Who is this?
Right.
What did I do? I filled something.
You're
already on to the next thing. Right. Or they already got. Guess what? They clicked off of your thing. You didn't call them. They clicked back to Google. Guess who sucks them in? LendingTree or Quicken Loans. Guess how quick they follow up? Within 5 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And some of these other sites that are selling their data, that's not even just one phone call from one mortgage person. They're getting 15 calls. Their emails blowing up. They're going into hiding. You got loan officers in their window looking into their house trying to, come on out, Right, so right. Speed to lead matters a whole lot. And so we're all also, it's just another way we look to help our clients is getting the leads. Great. Cool. That's the first step. Like we're excited. We grew your leads in your pipeline by, 250% within your first couple of days or first week live with us, just by turning on those ads. We need to assess now the follow-up approach. And we actually do that before we even sign up a client. We like to know, what's your CRM? What's the follow-up? Have you done leads like this before? Or you just, hey, I'm a referral shop. All of my leads come from realtors. I close like 3 or 4 deals a month, or maybe 5, 6 deals a month. I want to get to like 12 deals a month. So I want to double what I'm doing. And I'm not going to get there just kind of relying on my realtors the way I am right now. They're great, good relationship. I'm not too concerned about those, but I would need at least 1 or 2 more good realtors. And I need to start doing some consumer direct marketing to hit my goals. Right. Fantastic. So if we turn on leads for you though, this is a whole new ballgame. Understanding that when leads come in off the internet, this is not the same thing as a warm phone call from someone that spoke with one of your realtors who basically set you up right there. That's not a slam dunk either, but it's a layup, right? Internet leads is you got to be able to dribble down the court. You got to do some moves. You got to do some stuff to understand how many touches you're going to need to make and how quickly, and you got to say the right things at the right time. It's a sales process. And if you haven't done internet leads before, we have some really, really good partners that we introduce our clients to, that we make connections with to do that initial follow-up for you. Because it's not a sign that the leads suck when it takes 5 to 10 touches to get somebody to the application process. It's just a sign of they don't know you, they haven't spoken with you, there's no trust. You got to work a little bit. You got to do the little dance to get them to a point where they're like, yeah, let's do the loan app. I'm ready to rock. And now you can work it from there typically pretty easily because that relationship's gotten to that point. But that little dance that has to happen, a lot of our clients aren't good at it. They're not ready for it. And, if we assess that beforehand, we want to set that up right, before we even go live with ads to make sure we're addressing that. Or if a client does go live and they thought they could handle it, and then, we look back 30 days or 60 days in, and they're like, yeah, I've not been on top of it the way I thought. I've got just life comes at you quick. I've got things happening. Realtor calls me, client comes in the office. I got to pick up the kid from daycare or school or whatever. And the lead comes in. I'm not probably calling them until the next day, if at all. We got to pump the brakes a little bit and say, we got to get one of our partners involved. And we've got some really good ones that we work with that will do that whole thing for you. They'll follow up with the lead. They'll text them. They'll call them. They'll do the entire appointment setting and qualification process for you. 6 months worth of touches, 31 times.
Oh, wow.
Phone, voicemail, email, text, expert level stuff, AI powered people also actually there in the US doing this for you. So you're only talking to the best leads. So that's something you can tell I probably am excited about because the value it creates for our clients. Like, we're great at lead gen. We're doing this. We're bringing leads into your pipeline. We're building that for you. If you're not following up with those people and you're not doing it right, it's all going to just be, a lost opportunity. Right. Or you'll close 2 out of 100 instead of 4 or 6 or 8 out of 100 because you just didn't follow up on time. The first voicemail you left was clumsy. It wasn't the right thing to say. They didn't respond. They didn't shoot back a text message to that first text message because we know exactly what we should be saying in every single one of these communications. That's going to get us the high pull-through rate. Right. So we partner up with our clients on that level as well because, again, what's a success to us? Time to first value. A couple of these things we talked about. Leads coming in. Yep. A conversation with a realtor that went off and was next level, and you've never had a conversation like that before based on our scripting and our approach. These are good things to happen. But are we getting results from it? Are we closing deals? Are we getting loans closed as a result of the Facebook ads? Is now a new realtor I spoke for the first time with last week. They already sent me a referral in my inbox today. I've got a new buyer that realtor that had not sent me anything in the last couple of years, all of a sudden is warmed up again and is sending me clients as a result of this thing. Yeah. That to us is value. That's success. And that's measured by, what we get back from our clients as what's important to them.
Gotcha. You think that like a closing percentage data would be something we'd be able to see in the future? Can we integrate with CRMs? How would that work?
It's a good question. It will still vary. It'll vary like who closing rate. And this is a question I get sometimes on leads. Someone will say, well, what's the closing rate on those leads? Yeah. Depends on who I give them to. Right. I give one person 10 leads. They might close nothing and say those leads suck. Yeah. Give those same exact 10 leads to someone else. They're like, I closed 3 of them. Right. Those leads didn't suck. They were great. What are you talking about? Yeah. So it's hard to measure how good the leads are by that, but us just having an overall conversion rate feed coming back to us would be something I'm interested in as far as development. It would just take some programming and some logistics to figure out like who are we talking to and when does that communication occur? If we're talking to one of our great CRM partners, got a couple we really like that clients are working with. Can we get a feedback loop coming back to leadPops? That tells us when that leadPops fed into the system gets marked as closed. And do we have just the number of closed deals, or are we also getting a revenue or a commission amount back to us? Because that would be really awesome to be able to see, not just, hey, 12 closed loans, but that 12 closed loans is actually $38,700. I love that. Can I get that number back, please?
Show me the money.
But yeah, show me. But I'll take the 12. If I can't get the 37,000. But either way, that would be data we want to look at, and we're interested in adding to our tracking.
Gotcha. Yeah, you've answered a lot of these questions just by kind of spinning off through this through our little interview here. I think a couple other ones I wanted to ask you is what's one impact or change or tweak we can do to a leadPops funnel that would help our clients?
Good one. Okay. I love that one.
Cool. Talk to me about it.
So out of the box, they come pretty ready to rock. Like, it's plug and play. Launch your account. You don't got to fuss. You don't got to sit there trying to think of things to do to make this thing work. It's got wheels. It's got an engine. Put it on stuff. Literally link it to your content. Put it on a blog post. Send an email blast out with a link to the lead funnel. Put it on an ad. Put it in a social media post. Like our friend Enrique says. Yeah. If it moves, I put a lead funnel on it. Yeah. Literally. And that's what he means by that. He just links it to his content. If he's doing a video, Click below. If it's a bomb video, a YouTube video, whatever it might be, he tells you click the link below. I see him posting on social media and I'm always like, go Enrique, that's how to do it. I get really excited because every time he posts content, he's like, hey, we just helped a family save $350 a month on their mortgage. Little quote in a review from the client that just says like, hey, Enrique and his team were amazing. I can't believe how quickly they got this done. No fuss. Definitely recommend talking to Enrique. Hey, if you want to find out how we can do this for you, it only takes 60 seconds. Click this link to find out how much you can save. And he's got a link taking you to that next step, which is then his little questionnaire, which is the lead funnel that we create. It's just what it is. It's a questionnaire asking the right questions, the right kind of way that get people to see that post, say, huh, $350 a month. That sounds good. Well, these people seem to really like this guy. He did a good job. Okay, find out how much I can save. Oh, okay. Click. And all of a sudden I'm starting to serve up questions that are relevant to this process. There's that's the track we want to take people down. It's very logical, systematic approach to someone sees content, watched a video, read a post, read something. Their instinct is not, oh, there's his phone number. Let me click and just call Enrique. Like, that's great. I don't want to take away phone calls, but that's not the usual. That's still a lot of friction for that consumer to immediately just jump into a conversation with a salesperson.
Yeah.
So I would say in addition to, not necessarily instead of, I'm not saying don't put your phone number, right? Hey, if they call, that's even better. If you can just talk to them right up front, great. Say, hey, call or text, or find out exactly how much you could save. It only takes about 60 seconds. Click the link below. So I've got a couple of different, like I'm fishing. I want a couple of different lures in the water, right? But to go back to your question, it really is out of the box. You don't got to fuss with it much, right? Link, you got to put it on stuff. You take that link. That's why I always say buttons and links. If it's a website, we use buttons typically, but we kind of mix it up. There's some buttons that'll say, hey, get pre-approved, find out what you can save, different ways we approach it. And then in content, we'll put text links. So as you're reading, they'll say, find out what I can save. And you'll see the link is blue and underlined. So I click that and it pulls me to that lead funnel. So a couple of different ways we like to approach it, just so that there's kind of a good, healthy mix. Any given leadPops website has about 75 lead funnels built into it.
Wow.
So every page is strategically kind of layered with buttons and links.
They all look a little different too, right?
Yep. They look a little different. They're presented differently, but they're kind of woven into the content, and it's it's based on what I'm looking at. So if it's VA loans, you take me to a content page talking about VA loans, and the calls to actions and the buttons and the links are all VA loan specific, and they pull me to a VA loan specific funnel.
Gotcha.
Right. So that extra layer of effort on our part makes all the difference in conversion rates for our clients, because it's really cohesive and it's lined up. And when I click to get VA loan information, the landing page and the funnel that opens up is talking about, hey, find out if you're eligible for a VA loan. So that cohesion exists there, just like what we tell clients when they're posting on social media or running ads. Same kind of thing should happen there. Now, back to your question about, okay, so if I was going to fuss, if I was going to spend a little bit of time, 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, messing with the funnel to do something that could make it work better, right? Versus what it is out of the box. A couple key areas that I look at. First one is call to action. Like, does the call to action that's baked into the default setup match the ad or the offer that you're running? Because you can adjust it. It's very easy. Just simple text editor, put whatever you want in there. We set you up out of the box with something that works really well. But is there a change that can be made to make that more relevant to your topic? So let's just say, as an example, you're promoting a down payment assistance program, saying, hey, you don't need a 20% down. We can actually even help you with down payments. There's different options available. If that was an email blast or a blog post I was sending out, I don't want to just drive them to a generic, hey, buy a home, see if you can get pre-approved funnel. Right. I want to adjust the text, the call to action that's specifically talking now about down payment assistance. Find out if you're eligible, see if you could afford a home, or see if you can get assistance with your down payment. It only takes 60 seconds to see if you're qualified. A simple change to the main primary call to action on that lead funnel to match the exact copy and what I'm saying in the ad, that's what got someone to click. We always look at it that way. What is it that got them to click? Was it the email? You talked about down payment assistance. Like, hey, that sounds interesting. See if I'm eligible. Click the button, pulls me to a page now specifically talking about down payment assistance, matches up, and then tells me answer the questions below to find out if you qualify. There's a lot of cohesion there. Right. We just take them to, hey, get a mortgage rate quote. There's all of a sudden you're going to get a percentage of people that drop off, right? If they're going to click it and I kind of, wait, what? Mortgage rate quote? I lost interest. There's an ad sent. I'm like sniffing around, and as long as that scent remains intact, I'm more likely to complete that process. As soon as you take me to a page where I'm like, I'm not as comfortable, or this looks more like a generic mortgage thing. Any suspicion or or lack of confidence in what they're seeing leads to people dropping out. And the problem is that could be a really expensive loss. Like that's like people a lot of times are just like, oh, it's just someone on the internet. No, that could have been a loan. Had you done that the right way, had you just not blown it with the call to action that you used on that page, that person would have filled out the form. You would have had a conversation. A couple of weeks go by. Now they're in a loan app. Now you work your way through the deal. You closed the loan. You made $6,000 or whatever it is you make when you make a payday. Yeah. Right. But all of a sudden they dropped out. They don't call to tell you that. You don't get that feedback. So they don't call to say, hey, Robbie, just want to let you know I was on your landing page. Your call to action just kind of confused me. Right. They don't tell you anything. They just disappear and someone else gets them. Right.
Yeah. The only way you would know is if they just move forward. And if you don't, otherwise they're gone.
Yes. Or you get conversion rates and you log into your leadPops admin panel. And that's one of the feedback pieces we give you is like, oh, awesome. Wow, I clicked and man, I thought this was going to do much better. I'm 4% conversion rate. That's pretty bad. That's still better than a lot. But to me, that would be, there's something going on there with the traffic. It's either a traffic quality issue or it's a messaging problem. People hit the page and they're not liking what they're seeing. So we have to address it that way. So that would be one of the places to look at. So call to action is an opportunity. It's very easy, quick fix just to make sure, hey, does this really match up with what I'm saying to get people to the page? If it does, okay, you don't have to mess with it. If it doesn't, put a little bit of time into making sure that is compelling. And don't ever call it a loan application. Don't say apply now on the lead funnel. That is, like, it goes against what the purpose of that lead funnel is. Yeah. Another area I like is the super footer. It creates an added content layer to the bottom of the page. Okay. Where it gives you the ability to offer more supporting information. So the lead funnel itself is the questionnaire. It's a very simplified landing page kind of hybrid, but it's very focused on you got one message and you got some questions, and we're trying to get them to answer those questions and not distract them. Right. When the person arrives on that funnel and the page they were on before or the area they were on before already sold them on this idea of what they're doing when they hit the page, you don't need to do a lot with it. In fact, I typically recommend, hey, kind of leave it as it is. It's very simple. We don't want to get them a lot of stuff to think about and look at and read to distract them. If we're using that as the destination, it's the landing page. Like I didn't click on a website or a page, hit a button and go to the lead funnel where that first page kind of sold me, told me a lot of good stuff. I watched a video and it said, click the button. And now I hit that page, your funnel, and now it's a questionnaire. Right. Leave that as is in many cases. If the questionnaire is the first destination when I clicked on, though, if that's where I clicked on your email, the email was very short and sweet, quick little tagline, didn't do a lot of explaining. Just said, hey, find out if you're eligible. People are saving a lot of money with a refi. Right. And you take me to a page, there is some opportunity to possibly experiment with, hey, could adding more content to this page help me sell people on filling out the lead form? Gotcha. Or is the simplified version going to work better? That kind of stuff takes testing. You got to experiment. There's no one answer to like, no, that's going to be, like, you can theorize and say, oh, based on where people were when they clicked, I would think this would be the better approach, but you don't know until you test something out. Superfooter has shown to provide better results in many tests for clients to be able to say, hey, what I did is I layered some additional content. I listed some of the benefits and some of the features of this product or this program underneath. I had my video on there where it's just like me talking like 30 seconds explaining stuff. Right. And then I have a button below. When I click, it pulls them back up to the top of the page because the top of the page is where the heart of this thing is. That's right. Where the engine, the questionnaire lives. So if we provided more content below, we have to have a real easy way to pull them back up to the top, right? Because otherwise they're reading, they're looking, and everything else is above the fold. Now they just read something like, okay, well, that was interesting. Thanks, Robbie. Yeah. Click back. Yeah. So what we do is we make it really easy to insert call to action buttons below the fold. There's a little button that says, what do you want the button to say? Let's go, get started. Find out if whatever you want that button to say, you click the little inject button, it sticks a button down wherever you want below the fold. So when I click it, it pulls me right back up to the top so I can pull them back into that questionnaire. Wow. Feedback we got from one of our great clients. Again, he's a power user, so it's easy to reference because he does so much testing. Scott Shang tried the super footer. He said 4 times the lead conversion rate by activating the super footer versus what he was saying prior before he had the super footer. So he just added some bullet points down there. He actually added a picture of himself, which is kind of cool because he's in a lot of the articles, like he's the author of the articles. So when people are on that website, they're reading a Scott Shang article, then they click into the lead funnel, then you have that questionnaire, but below the fold, you've got a picture of Scott, and he's adding that trust element. So when they're on the questionnaire, there's always that guard that goes up a little bit when people hit a page and you start asking them questions. So that's just another way for him to tell them, hey, it's still me. Yeah. You didn't get hijacked or pulled into some weird ad. This is Scott. This is what I'm doing. Here's some more benefits of the program. If you like it, you want to see if you're qualified, click below, pulls you right back up to the top, pulls you right to that questionnaire. So Superfooter has been a really, really powerful tool for clients to add some more content that doesn't come kind of by default baked into the funnel itself. If you want to add a little bit more information and kind of sell to people a little bit more. Yeah. And then one of my favorites, last one I'll touch on related to this, is the thank you page.
Okay.
So thank you page. It's such a beautiful opportunity to optimize that people don't think about. Like, I just went through your questionnaire. I just answered 20 questions, told you all about me. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to go. Here's my name, email, phone number. Right. And at the end of the process, hey, thanks. Someone's going to call you. That's all it says. Here's the problem with that. It leaves, it finishes the process for the client. So there's no like, okay, I got your info. But there's nothing there that's exciting. That's like, I just gave you 20 questions. Right. Someone's going to call me. That's it. It's a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, because they just gave up a bunch of their info, took the time to do it, and then that's it.
Yeah, that's it, right? Gotcha. And at leadPops, we have to make that general enough out of the box so that if someone doesn't touch it, they can drive traffic to their funnel, they can get leads, and there's a result at the end that at least sets a general expectation for the consumer. Hey, got your info? We're going to call you back real soon. Okay. So it's at least the consumer is not left to fill out a form, and then all of a sudden the thing just spins and reverts back to the first step. Like, did they get that? Right. Did that work? What just happened here? So we got to finish it off, but it is general because I can't make promises out of the box for everybody that signs up. I don't know what your process is. Yeah. I don't know if you're going to call back in 2 minutes. I don't know if you're going to call back in 2 days. I can't say anything out of the box other than we got your info, sit tight, someone will call you.
Gotcha.
But you have access to get in there and customize it however you want. Very, very simple editors that allow you to add content, add video, PDF, links, buttons, whatever the heck you want. So what our more savvy clients do is they'll spend a couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes it takes, to shoot a quick video. It could be a BombBomb, it could be a Wistia, it could be a Loom video. You can just embed right on that thank you page real quick and easy. Introduces you, lets your client know, hey, what's up? It's Andrew. Just want to let you know I've got your information. Sit tight. I will be following up with you real quick. My assistant usually is texting back everybody that comes through this process within a couple minutes. Oh, cool. You might actually get a text from her while you're watching this video. So if that happens, make sure you respond. She's really awesome. Her name's Alex, but she'll be helping kind of take you through this process with me. In the meantime, just want to let you know, check your email. I've already sent you some really cool follow-up information. Below, there's 2 things I want you to take a look at. There's my calendar. If you want to jump to the front of the line, click that calendar link. It will move you to the front. You can book a time with me right there. Below that, I've got a link to a first-time homebuyer ebook. It's a really awesome what you need to know when buying a house in 2020. You can download it. It's my gift to you. Do want to let you know, thank you so much for taking the time, and we'll be talking to you real soon.
Yeah.
Just right off the top of my head. That's not scripted, but something like that.
Yeah, that made me feel good if I went through that whole process.
And think about this. They're watching that video by the time their phone beeps.
Yeah.
They're like, there's Alex. Whoa, did that just... People are still, they don't know how this tech stuff works. It's not like that's such a complicated matrix thing we just pulled off. It's just an autoresponder. You got your text. If you got our partner who's following up with your leads for you plugged in and they're actually doing this stuff, that is like clockwork. If you say, hey, I want my lead to get a text from me within a minute, every single time a lead comes through, within 1 minute, they will get that first text message.
Wow, and that's something you can just set up.
You can set that up through our partnership with our service on that. Cool. So that's the beauty of it. You can make that promise and know full well, like clockwork, while the person's watching that video, their phone is going to beep. And that first promise you just made to that consumer who doesn't really probably know you at all at this point, just you delivered on that first thing. That matters a little bit. I'm not saying, well, the deal's done. You can blow it on everything else from here on out because you just sealed the deal. It's not that, but it is like...
It's a step in the right direction for sure.
Yeah. It's like, that's pretty damn cool. Mm-hmm. And look at that. Like he said, I was going to get a follow-up from Alex while I'm watching it, and lo and behold, 2 seconds later, my phone beeps and it's like, there it is. I feel a little bit, I feel good about this. Yeah. Like this guy's on top of it, or this lady's on top of it. This is a good sign. Like that's how quick they followed up. He said they would. I'm going to also go check my email. He said something got sent to my email. That's kind of cool, right? The autoresponder from the lead funnel will kick out. You can make that say whatever you want. That could be a quick loan application or mortgage checklist. Top 10 things you got to have and do and don't do. Don't go buy a car. Don't go buy high-end appliances. Do this. Have these things ready. Like little cool things you could send to the client so they like don't blow the mortgage, because if you go buy a car or do something crazy like that on your credit, you're going to impact what's happening there. Or you can just say, hey, here's what to have your driver's license. Here's some of the documents we're going to need. Start getting the stuff in order, because the quicker we get all that stuff, the quicker you're going to close.
Yeah, so you're already providing value. You haven't even met the person or talked to them yet.
And it's all automated. Cool. Text message, video just presented you. Next thing, what our clients are also saying is like, dude, people are just booking themselves in my calendar. I can't even believe it. Like, I'm not even calling them back. All of a sudden I see new appointment set, Rita. Sweet. Rita just booked herself in my calendar for this afternoon. I didn't even have to have someone call her. She's ready to rock. Yeah. These types of things can all happen. It's all automated. It's real quick and easy. So if you said, hey, Andrew, if I spend a few minutes messing with my lead funnel, like to optimize it a bit more than what's out of the box, those are the key areas I would say. Spend a little bit of time on that. It makes a big difference. You will close more loans as a result of that. Cool.
Well, I think that's a great place to end. You were listening to Andrew Pawlak here in the LeadPops podcast room. I'm Robbie Gallo, and just want to say thank you. That was super insightful. Man. It was great having you for the first run here. Yeah. And we'll be seeing you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Taking Back Your Leads podcast. If you like what you hear, subscribe where all major podcasts are available and by visiting leadpops.com.